welcome back. In this video, we're going to look at three main things: where to put your solar panels, what our system looks like and some of the options we chose, and why you will probably want to change your electricity provider once your system's installed. Okay, so you're feeling pretty good about your reasons for moving ahead with a solar panel system. Here's what you should start thinking through and considering. First of all, it sounds really basic, but you should start assessing the sun and what options you have for placing your solar panels on your property, how it shines on your property during the year, or things that could get in the way, cast shadows, or drop debris on your brand new solar panel system. I'm going to give you an overview of the system that we've installed, and I'm also going to talk about our micro generator friendly retailer. How does using a retailer like Park Power affect our electricity bill? I'll let you know. Okay, so you're looking to get solar panels on, but where are you going to put them? Nearly all installations are going either on your roof or on the ground. In the Northern Hemisphere, it is ideal for solar panels to be installed on the south face of your roof of your house or garage, or on a different part of your property. Again, this is ideal for the sake of efficiency and maximizing the most exposure of sunlight per day. But if the positioning isn't quite possible, don't walk away from this. If your roof is orientated where your east-west portions would get all the panels due to available space, it can still be worthwhile, but your solar panel contractor's assessment should be able to show you an estimate on their efficiency and what you can expect for them to produce. But at this point in your planning, you are simply trying to think ahead and prepare for their arrival, which leads to my next point. Another thing that may affect when the sun reaches your panels are surrounding trees. This is the obstacle that most of us are going to face. First of all, do those trees pose a danger to your roof or house, and in turn your future solar panels? Do they need to be pruned or significantly cut back? Do they typically discharge sap or drop berries, leaves, needles, or otherwise cause a mess that could affect your panels? How do they cast shadows when the sunlight is trying to reach your potential solar panels, especially as the seasons change throughout the year? This is something that you might not have noticed too much in the past, but you're going to start noticing it in the future. While we're talking about shadows, are there neighboring structures that will cast shadows where you initially were intending on installing your solar panels? These are all questions that you'll need to answer for yourself, and the more that you think through these ahead of time, the less delays you'll have as you try to make decisions. Most residential projects, especially in cities, put them on the roof because of available space. If your roof doesn't seem like it will be the best option for solar panels, you can definitely consider a ground-mounted installation, which would be easier to monitor and check on. If you have a farm or acreage with a lot more open land available, then a ground-mounted system might make a lot more sense for you anyways. With our property, our neighbor has some tall trees in his backyard, and our backyard isn't overly big as it is. This, coupled with our south-facing roof and our relatively new shingles, made choosing to install the solar panels on our roof a quick and easy decision. So after sorting through options to consider when placing solar panels on your property, let's move ahead and take a closer look at the actual system we chose to go with, and some things for you to consider or be aware of. We have 22 Hanwha Q-cell panels, and I'll list the model number here. They were manufactured in Korea. We have 22 DC optimizers from Solar Edge, and we have one inverter from Solar Edge, which is actually mounted to a wall inside our basement right beside our power panel. Another option for this system would have been to install 3 microinverters up on our roof out in the elements, but I was told that the single inverter installed at room temperature away from the elements would be more efficient since it's stored inside my house. That's why I paid a little bit extra and went that route. Another crucial part of any system is going to be your ability to monitor it. For ours, it's the Solar Edge app. It allows me to get a somewhat live view of how my panels are performing each day, which helps me to decide when I want to change between my rates on my bill. More on that later, but that is key. As I mentioned in the first episode, our system size is 9.35 kilowatts, and our annual production was estimated to be 10,830 kilowatt hours. And when I recently checked, my production for last year came in just under that, despite my system only being operational for just under 11 months last year. It's rated and sized to 110% of my annual usage from the previous year, It was a cheaper system than the system proposed to my dad, but according to the specifications, it was slated to have more powerful panels and cost about $2,000 less. So the takeaway there is that it's definitely worth pricing it out with different companies to see what types of systems they're offering for what price. Our system cost $21,700 as opposed to the system my dad was looking at putting on his house, which was $23,900. Speaking of which, let's talk a bit about my retailer. When I was getting my system, my installation company gave me a list of retailers that were good options for microgenerators. The one that I chose has been great to deal with, and I've been so happy with them. From day one, they've been available and easy to communicate with. Their bills are laid out clearly, which is often not the case. But most importantly for me, they are solar friendly. Here's how. For starters, they have two rates for electricity, a high rate and a low rate. The way that it works is that when I produce more electricity over the course of the month than the electricity that I use, I automatically sell that electricity back to the grid. On the other hand, when I use more electricity than I produce, then I get charged. The plan is to figure out when you start producing more so that you can capitalize on generating the most credit when possible, then to switch to the lower rate over the winter months so that you're paying less. There are two things that I really like about this. The first is that I get to choose when I want to switch between rates. I target the day that I want to switch between rates and submit a change request online. They will tell you that it could take several business days for the change to be made, but I've never had to wait long, thankfully. Once I submit the form for the change through my personal online portal, where I can also view my bills, they handle the rest of it on their end. The second reason is that I can look at my app and backdate my request for my rate change based on when my app tells me that my system had a spike in production, or if it dropped off. Another bonus is their payout policy. I've said before that according to the legislation in our province of Alberta, they have to pay me out legally every 12 months. But this company, Park Power, goes above and beyond that and will pay you out if your electricity bill credit stays above $200 for 2 months. This is huge, and it's really helped us to have a great start to the spring of this year. So between their policies, customer service, and solar-friendly initiatives, I'm happy to say that my experience with Park Power has been top-notch, and I don't doubt that yours would be too. The ability for us to be able to change between their high and low rates has been huge, and has helped us to more fully realize how we can actually make some money and recoup our costs on our solar panels.